Yo, here we are back at it again. We're gonna be hitting Riddler versus the Riddler. All right, now, so you guys kind of know that I really like the new Batman. Like, it was really good. I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. So, I mean, it's really. I've heard somebody they said they gave it a 12 out of 10. I can agree with that. Like, people who give this like a perfect score, like I can agree. I can definitely agree. So let's go ahead and get into it. Caw-caw! Yeah, you guys know what to do. I need to come up with a better process to switch this.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and in this installment of Versus, we're pitting the Batman Forever Riddler against the one in The Batman. For this video, we're looking at Jim Carrey's and Paul Dano's versions of the Riddler and seeing which one is the cleverest interpretation. If you haven't seen the new film yet, beware of heavy spoilers. Which one do you like better? Leave your answer in the comments. Round 1. Backstory and motivation. As different as they are, both versions of the Riddler have varying ties to Bruce Wayne. In Batman Forever, we first meet Edward Nygma as a researcher at Wayne Enterprises.
Mr. Oh, Bruce Wayne.
No, that's my name. And you are?
Nygma. Edward Nygma, you hired me personally.
Nygma idolizes Bruce and pitches to him a device that can beam television directly into a person's head. Apprehensive of the implications, however, Bruce rejects the idea, personally offending Nygma and sending him into a tailspin.
You were supposed to understand. I'll make you understand.
After murdering his boss Stickley, Nygma adopts the Riddler persona. In a bid to get revenge on Bruce, he starts Nygma Tech and mass produces his technology with what he calls the box, which he intends to use to become both richer and smarter than Bruce.
You will help me steal production capital so I can put a box on every TV in town and become Gotham's cleverest carbon-based life form!
In The Batman, Edward Nashton is revealed to have been an orphan at the center Thomas Wayne sought to renovate during his mayoral election campaign.
I'm just here to unmask the truth about this cesspool we call a city.
When Thomas was murdered due to his own shady dealings, Nashton and the other orphans were largely forgotten. Nashton thus harbored resentment towards Bruce Wayne, an orphan with all the resources in the world. Years later, Nashton resorts to exposing Gotham's elite under the guise of the Riddler.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
He targets corrupt individuals in positions of power, brutally murdering them before revealing their secrets. Becoming aware of Bruce's identity as Batman, he uses the dual persona to influence the investigation in the direction he desires.
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.
The answer to this riddle is a no-brainer. While Nygma's jilted employee incentive can be fun in its own right, Nashton's origin is more grounded in backstory and somewhat sympathetic. Winner, the Batman.
The best way to—
What's a good Batman villain without a decent set of threads? After
I think they gave origins to, I guess, the Batman. It's gonna be hard just because both of them, like, one of them is real cartoonish and the other is more serious, like more of a horror, I would say, like a psycho thriller, So I don't know. I don't know. I like I don't know. This is tough. I'm gonna have to go with the new Batman, but I think, this is like biased because it's out right now, the Batman. And we know looking in at hindsight, right? So I'm gonna go with the Batman, but at the same time, I think it's really neck and neck with Jim Carrey's.
brainstorming a series of underwhelming personas, Batman Forever's Edward Nygma settles on the Riddler and takes inspiration from the animatronic dummy among his collectibles.
Who are you? Just a friend, but you can call me the Riddler.
Relatively more in keeping with the comic counterpart's attire, relatively being the keyword, Nygma wears an emerald green form-fitting suit adorned with black question marks. In a bizarre effort to conceal his identity, he also wears a matching eye mask and bowler hat, the latter of which covers his new red do. He also carries a gold high-tech cane shaped in the form of a question mark.
Like the jacket? It keeps me safe when I'm jogging at night.
For his final confrontation with Batman, however, Riddler opts for a sparkling silver getup, and it is certainly something else.
Was that over the top? I can never tell.
In keeping with the movie's tone, the Riddler in The Batman goes for a much simpler look.
You came. I've been trying to reach you.
Though he is in all green, the color is much more muted and secondary, doing a much better job at keeping who he is under wraps. The Riddler wears a considerably baggy coat, which also allows him to carry more equipment as he goes about his crimes. Patched onto it is a white question mark, carrying over the character's primary insignia. To hide his face, he wears a military cold weather mask. Though there is thematically no military connection with the character, his glasses poking through are reportedly meant to evoke the Zodiac Killer, which is an apt comparison. As subtle and appropriate as the new look Riddler's new look is, we cannot shy away from the loud personality exhibited by the 1995 costume.
Joygasm!
Winner, Batman Forever. Round 3, Master Plan.
Remember the place. Seize and capture.
The Riddler easily being one of the most cunning villains in the Rogues Gallery, it wouldn't be a Batman movie without him concocting a meticulous mystery for the world's greatest detective to solve. After fully becoming the Riddler, Nygma partners with Two-Face, who harbors hatred for Batman, even though they don't yet know he's Bruce Wayne.
I will help you solve the greatest riddle of all, the mother of all riddles. Who is Batman?
Together, they use Nigma's device to feed off the intelligence of the masses. At a launch party, Nigma manages to goad Bruce into using the machine, revealing his identity as Batman.
Riddle me this. What kind of a man has bats on the brain? Go ahead. You can say it. You're a genius.
Riddler and Two-Face then infiltrate and destroy much of the Batcave at Wayne Manor, but leave Bruce alive to fulfill their ultimate goal. After kidnapping Bruce's love interest, Dr. Chase Meridian, they lure Batman and Robin to their hideout, capturing the latter. Riddler tries to get Batman to choose between Meridian and Robin, but Batman uses his love of riddles against him, destroying the machine and warping Riddler's mind. The Riddler's plan in The Batman, on the other hand, is much more intricate and thought out.
The Riddler is asking for you.
The killer left this for the Batman. Why's he writing to you?
He kicks things off Halloween night by murdering Mayor Mitchell, decrying the lies fed to the people of Gotham. He then starts leading Batman on a series of clues that will lead him to the real mayor of Gotham, crime lord Carmine Falcone. In addition to murdering Police Commissioner Savage and D.A. Coulson, Riddler orchestrates Batman's apprehension of Falcone. This gives Riddler a clear shot, as he's able to snipe Falcone dead from his hideout.
Not in my pocket.
It is.
Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were. Bruce Wayne.
This, of course, leads to Riddler's capture, but he's already set up a grand finale whereby a series of car bombs destroy Gotham's breakwaters, flooding the city before setting his followers upon the mayor-elect's victory party. While both plans incorporate Batman in a major way, Riddler...
That's really the only part of his plan that I feel like is just up to chance. Like, how many of his followers are going to get to the place, you know, to have this little shootout, you know, like that. You really can't, you really just can't depend on people like that, right? Like, that many people's going to show up with guns ready to gun down the mayor. And I mean, yeah, you might have a few, but I don't know. That's the only shaky part of his plan.
This plan in Batman Forever feels more improvisational, whereas the one in The Batman is mapped out to a T. We're giving this one to the 2022 movie. Winner, The Batman. Round 4, performance. Obviously, these two Riddlers are very different, and the performance is given by...
All right, performance. I'm going to have to go with Jim Carrey on this one. You know, like, look, I know that the Batman is more contemporary, right? So it's going to hit a lot better right now. It's kind of like if we say Mario 64 versus whatever, the Mario Odyssey. Like, Mario Odyssey is going to look better just because it's current gen. Mario 64 is not going to look as good, right? Or we just go back to Nintendo. Let's go back to, you know, the original Mario. We go back to original Mario versus Mario Odyssey, right? So I feel like Jim Carrey's performance, I don't know. This is so hard. This is hard. I'm gonna have to go with Jim Carrey, but this new guy, the new Riddler, like, I like him as well. I mean, it was real, real eerie. Like, he was like a serial killer. He's like the Zodiac. This was like a psychological thriller, and he did a hell of a job on it.
Their respective actors are also very different.
I think, you know, I want a Riddler that's like, if they had him, that type of psychological crazy type of guy as another villain, it would have fit well. But for me, I like my Riddler to be charismatic, and, you know, I like.
Seeing the meteoric rise Jim Carrey was on in the mid-90s, he seemed like the perfect choice to play an eccentric Batman villain in a Joel Schumacher movie. Though many stalwart Bat fans may not take to Schumacher's colorful and wacky interpretation of the material, there's no doubt that Carrey's performance fits right in with the movie's tone.
Very few people are both the summer and the winter, but you pull it off nicely. What's the point, big boy? Does he have a serious impulse control problem?
He's given a run for his money by an energy-matching Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, who infamously disliked Carrey during production. But trying to top Carrey's comedic timing is always going to be a fool's errand.
Right, but see there, it shows like the Two-Face, I like the more modern Two-Face better than Tommy Lee Jones's like comical, but I like the Riddler, this comical flow of the Riddler better. So
You sunk my battleship!
His Riddler is zany, witty, and more than a little batty. And even when the movie itself falls short in places, we can always count on Carrey to keep us laughing.
Edward, please. Who is Batman?
I'm Batman.
Paul Paul Dano, on the other hand, goes for a much more reserved approach. We don't see as much of his Riddler despite the Batman's longer running time, but Dano makes sure he has our attention whenever he's on screen. Though the Riddler's voice modifier in his broadcasts seeks to mask his identity, Dano's performance shines through regardless in cadence and intensity, though he's usually cool and collected. This makes the moments when he lashes out resonate more, further emphasizing the unhinged nature of his character. This is especially true in the scene wherein Batman interrogates a maskless Nashton, as the latter withholds one more trick up his sleeve.
I've been trying to reach you.
Paul Dano is undeniably captivating in the Batman, but when it comes to scene-stealing performances, Jim Carrey's gonna win every time. Winner, Batman Forever.
The difference? Showmanship.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Round 5, Riddles. Yes, the Riddler's favorite.
Riddles. I'm horrible. Like, yo, I just realized I'm horrible at riddles. Like, yo, I'm horrible at it. So maybe that should be a game. That should be an app. You know, you gotta solve these riddles, right? It's like a little mind boggle game where you get to solve riddles. Which, look, I don't know. That stuff is hard. But I'm gonna have to give the riddles to the Batman, right? So, there were really good riddles, and just the tone of the movie and the way that it pushed the movie. I feel like the Batman riddles are fire versus Batman Forever. So let's see what they give it.
Favorite pastime is going to be what settles this versus once and for all.
If you look at the numbers on my face, you won't find 13 anyplace.
That's hideous. What does it mean?
It's a riddle. Numbers on my face, 13. 1 through 12. The answer is a clock.
Clearly the more theatrical of the two, Edward Nygma carries this over to his riddles, going to great lengths not only to cut out magazine words ransom style, but also to create pop-up and interactive cards to go along with them.
Tear one off and scratch my head. Once was red is black instead.
Match.
The riddles themselves vary in degrees of difficulty, with the clock clue being fairly obvious, and the match one a little more of a thinker. However, the answers to the riddles themselves are arbitrary, as the real riddle lies in the numbers appearing in each. When push comes to shove, Bruce and Alfred are able to transpose each into a letter, until they reveal the Riddler's identity.
18 is R. M-R-E.
How about Mr. E?
Mystery.
And another name for mystery.
Enigma.
Mr. E. Nygma. Edward Nygma.
It's honestly a bit of a stretch, but we guess we should also question who named him Enigma in the first place. Edward Nashton's Riddler, on the other hand, doesn't need to be ornate with his designs to intimidate. He merely picks out some particularly creepy greeting cards and scrawls upon them with his unsettlingly simple handwriting.
Let's play a game. Just me and you.
The riddles themselves are meant to condemn his victims and their corruption using clever wordplay, but buried within are a series of clues that lead Batman to uncover Riddler's origin and the next step of his master plan.
It can be cruel, poetic, or blind. But when it's denied, it's your silence you may find.
Justice. The answer's justice.
While Batman is right in thinking this will lead him to the Riddler, he unwittingly also plays into his hand by getting Carmine Falcone killed.
It's black and blue and dead all over.
This is honestly a tough call. However, Nashton's riddles are a bit more effective and logical in the grand scheme of things, as he's also able to tell a story with his twisted point of view. This round goes to the Riddler from The Batman. Winner, The Batman.
You came. I've been trying to reach you.
With a score of 3-2, The Batman wins.
So yeah, they giving it to the Batman, which, you know, it's just, look, because it's new and they're so drastically different, is gonna pull either way. So anyone who gave it to Jim Carrey's Riddler, I see it as because they're like total polar opposites, these two characters. So but yeah, for me, I'm gonna have to go with this Riddler from the Batman. I just wish that his look was different, like that look. And I get it. It is like a military, like a more of a military-esque look. It's more, you know, realistic. I don't know. Like I would definitely do something different. Like my Riddler would look different. But look, that's that. It is cold out, yeah. So, caw, bring it in.